I said I wanna rock.
Are we gonna be goofing off like this every day?
We're not goofing off. We're creating musical fusion.
Wow. You're amazing, dude.
Thanks. I like to play.
I'm a small reporter from Rolling Stone magazine that's in town to do an exclusive interview with Michael Jackson.
I got a fever. And the only prescription is more cowbell.
It is time for the Unsigned and Unhinged Meltdown.
Hey everybody, welcome to Unsigned, Unhinged Meltdown. I am your host, Frank E. And I have with me all the way from Tennessee, Roses Unread. I have Allison from Rose, just her. It's okay, because we're going to still rock it out, right?
Oh, yeah.
And
Everybody else's day jobs, and, well, I'm a school teacher, too, so I have the summers off, so I'm able to do all these interviews and things like that, and promoting and just getting all this stuff done this summer.
Yeah, and she's got that southern drawl. Which, dude, I don't know about everybody, but I love a southern drawl. No matter if it's a guy or a girl, I just think it's awesome. But
you should hear my drummer and his wife talk, because they are like 10 times as country as me.
You're country, but you're not doing country, so it's okay. That's like the one kind of music I can't get behind. I tried. Many girlfriends I've had have been like all about the country music, and they've tried to get me into it, and it's just like it can't stick. Don't get me wrong. There's like a handful of songs that I've actually liked, but I can't get behind it. I don't know why. So
and I'm the same way. But really country these days is pop. It's taking a turn for radio pop. I mean to me when I think of country, I think of like Johnny Cash and Patsy Cline.
Oh yeah, exactly.
It's new stuff. It could be on any radio station. Any in the top hit radio station, not just country. So it's changed a lot.
See, now, when I was growing up, my dad was a big Alabama fan. So there's like some Alabama stuff that I actually really, really enjoy because I grew up around it, you know what I mean? But like some of this new stuff, I'm just like... But like I used to DJ. My listeners know I used to be a DJ, and it's hard to transition from a rock song or a country song from a hip-hop song. Because primarily that's what you play when you're in a club because people want to dance. But if someone's like, dude, I want to hear some country music, it's like, That's why I thank the Lord for Florida Georgia Line, because my God, it's so easy to play Cruise going into a country song. Oh, bad. So anyway, on to Roses Unread. Now, you guys been around since 2007, which, Alice and I were talking. I didn't know that before I scheduled this interview. I was unaware. I thought they just had the one CD and were really promoting it, and oh my gosh, they have 4 CDs out. So, and my co-host Juan told me all about that. I was like, I got shocked. It was like, wow, they're bigger than I thought.
We've been at it a while. We've 4 CDs, and we're actually writing for our 5th right now, so we'll do another EP in the wintertime, fall, and kind of maybe put it out in January. So we're constantly writing.
Yeah.
That's like our main thing. Like we'll take time off, from shows for a while just to write, because that's just such a big part of it. Like we play shows and we travel, but we really feel at home in the studio writing and just putting new stuff out for the fans and stuff.
Yeah. And with as much music as you guys have, maybe like in the future, I can get you guys all on together and we could play some more Roses Unread. I know I'd like to do that because I've been listening to more of the stuff besides stuff that I'm going to play for you guys today. And I was blown away by a lot of the music that you guys got out there. And it's really a transition from like the beginning to where you guys are at now, because they have 4 CDs out, and your first CD was in 2011, and that was Until We Meet Again, which I played a few songs off of that.
We actually had a CD before that one as well. We we just ran out of all the copies. It was called The Commencement. And if you're ever interested, I can send you that. That one was in 2009, I believe.
Oh, wow.
So we did that one, and it had like 10 songs on it. And
I'm all about supporting local music, so I would definitely take free music. I love it.
you can really see the evolution of the band. I mean, and the evolution's from us finding our sound, but we've been through quite a few members. I mean, you know, since 2007, that's going to happen. You know, you're going to lose people, gain people. I mean, that's just part of it. I've gotten used to it. I'm just like, all right, well, I mean, with the lineup I have now, I'd probably be really upset if somebody bowed out or couldn't do it, because like I really like love this lineup we have. Mm-hmm. But everybody just been kind of come and go at this point, and right now I feel like we've got the solidarity that we've always, you know, needed, and it's just a great group.
Yeah. Because right now it's Alice, it's you, Allison, and then John, and that's your husband, correct?
Yeah.
And then Jed and Caleb. Now, how much like changes have you guys gone through in the time?
Oh gosh, since 2007, we hadn't had as many. We've only had like 3 or 4 bass players. We've only had 3 guitar players, but we figured out it was better with just 1 guitar player. So we had 2 other guys, and they were getting married and all that stuff, so they had to bow out and having kids. Yeah. And then, but drummers have been our biggest issue. Like I think we've been through 5.
Oh my! So has it just been you and John as the core?
Yeah, pretty much. I originally started it by myself with just some friends from high school, and then they graduated and went to college. And my husband was actually a bass player in another band, and he stepped up to play guitar after the guy left.
Okay.
So really, I feel like it started at the point my husband joined. Like, I feel everything up to that was just like figuring it out, trying to get something down. You know, well, it was serious, but it wasn't. But like when he joined the band, it was like the pieces started fitting together, and that's when we that was the first CD, The Commencement. When he joined, we did that one, and then so forth. We kind of found our sound and what we were really going for, and you know, here we are today with Vultures. So it's been a wild ride.
Yeah, which I've heard the Vultures EP, and it's really, really good. It's really good, and like I said, for the stuff that I have listened to, it's absolutely amazing. So, but now the title Roses Unread, like I'm assuming because you kind of started the band, you came up with the title, like the name for the band. Right. Is there like a meaning behind that?
Well, funny story. Before Roses Unread, we got offered a show, and this was like with the guys that were in the high school with me, and we had to come up with a name really, really quick, and nobody could come up with anything. So my dad's like, "Call it Black Lace for now," and I was like, okay. I mean, we had nothing. It was like button heads trying to find up a name. So we stuck with this 80s name Black Lace for like maybe a month or 2. And then this band from overseas was like, you're going to need to change your name because that's our name, or we're going to seek legal action. And apparently there's some big band overseas, like from the 80s, called Black Lace. Well, I was like, man, I'd started building up, like, this is back MySpace days. I made the MySpace page for it, started building up, the fan base and stuff, and then had to change our name. So it's kind of like starting over again. That kind of played off the name. And also, in some scenarios, especially in Tennessee, we feel that, female artists and rock bands don't get as much respect as the guys. So it was kind of like, judging a book by its cover. It was unread. And, you were judging it, or like a flower that hadn't bloomed. And who's to say that it's not going to be this beautiful thing that happens if you only give it a chance and wait for it, or read it, or, or watch it. And so it's just like giving something a chance and seeing what's behind it all. It's kind of how the name came up.
Well, I mean, it's a really catchy name. Because when I was, and like everybody wants to know, because like you guys are from Tennessee and I'm from Wisconsin, how I found out about Roses Unread is my basic networking, quote unquote, that I do on Facebook, where I go and I'm looking at people's friends or what have you, or they'll be like, hey, these are suggestions of people you may know. And
Yeah.
I look at their picture and I'm like, yeah, it looks like they're in a band. I'll add them. That's my networking.
Hey, I've done the same thing. I mean,
Yeah. And I believe I added you first before I even knew who the band was.
oh, that's cool. Yeah.
And
yeah,
that-
like probably I deleted like 500 people because it was just people that didn't talk to me or like fake profiles. So you probably couldn't have got, to add me if it wouldn't have been for me doing that.
Yeah, and I think that was like maybe a month or two ago when I first started doing the podcast. And
That's when I started in house, and I was like, I'm getting rid of at least 500 people, and
well, yeah,
strategically remove them.
yeah, Facebook like limits how many friends you can have, which is ridiculous. It's like, why? You're only allowed to have 5,000 friends in your life. Can't have any more. It's a pain. It's a pain. It happens. It really does. So, wow. I mean, you guys been around like 10 years. It's been 10 years.
It's crazy. Like, it started off on MySpace, and you could have, however many friends you wanted on that, and I don't know how I kept up with all those people because Roses Unread actually had a MySpace page too, and and a lot of people followed us over to Facebook, which was really cool. But some of them, I don't know, no telling what happened to them. But I remember like our page on MySpace had like as many likes as we do. That's a lot. I couldn't imagine Facebook giving you 36,000 freaking likes. That's for our friends. That's crazy.
Yeah. So now the first song that we're gonna play is off your new CD, Vultures. And when is that actually gonna be available for release?
Well, the people who pre-ordered it, they're going to get it about a week before our CD release party. So like the first week of August, it's looking like. And our CD release parties are going to be the 18th and 19th. And they're going to be Jackson, Tennessee, which is our hometown. And then we have one in Mississippi. That's like our second hometown because Caleb and Jed are from Mississippi. So we have, two people out of state, and some kind of way we make it work. It works really good, but so we kind of have two hometowns, I guess you could say.
Yeah. So the first song we're gonna play, which is the first track off the new CD, if it wasn't for me, which like most people know, I like the songs that just come up and slap you in the face. Or they start out really mellow and then just come up and slap you in the face. It's like, oh, yeah, I'm here and I'm listening. But how the CD starts off just like really heavy in the face with this track. Now, is there like a meaning behind this song? And like how was the writing process for it?
We recorded everything in our home studio. And then we had our good friend Dave Tao. He's out of Memphis. He mixed it for us. But like everything you hear, we did in our studio, like that synth and stuff. I did that on my keyboard.
Okay.
Everything. My husband, he engineered it all. We recorded drums actually in my den of my house. Everything was done here. It was not in a professional studio by any means. It's in. I'm sitting in the den right now, and that's where we recorded drums. That's pretty crazy to think about. And like the bedroom we record everything else in used to be my old bedroom as a child. So I never would have thought that when I was writing poetry in my bedroom, I'm an angsty teenager, writing away, that one day that room would be a studio. Like I never would have thought that. But it's really cool that happened. But no, basically. All these songs really started off with me and like a basic piano part, and we just build from it. Mm-hmm. And the whole CD, Vultures, besides I'll Follow You and Never Back Down, the other three songs are basically about people giving up on you and pushing through that some kind of way. Mm-hmm. So, Vultures, if it wasn't for me and After All, they all kind of share the same meaning, because that's what it felt like the whole year of 2016, that like everybody was just giving up on us, losing faith in us, and how are we going to push through to actually have some light at the end of like that darkness we really felt. So that's kind of what If It Wasn't For Me was about. And and the CD kind of tells a story. So it's really interesting to talk about.
Yeah. So, guys, check it out. This is off their new EP, which is going to be out in August. Vultures. This is If It Wasn't For Me. So check it out. Yeah, I hope that song just like slapped you in the face, guys, and that's the first track on the CD, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you put it in your car and you're being like, oh my, they're here, and it's going. So, man, now you guys are based in Tennessee, and you said you said earlier you guys go to Mississippi a lot. Now, from what I was reading on your Facebook as well as your website and Reverbnation, that you guys have a fan base that's pretty wide. even like throughout the world. Now, do you guys like travel like outside of Mississippi, Tennessee area? Do you guys travel anywhere else or?
Yeah, we've been to Texas. We did a run to Texas, and we pretty much play all the border states. But anything that really we get offered for that's a good deal, we'll take it. So we're willing to go out of state or like out of the not like the inner region or whatever. But it's got to be a good deal. You can't just go I don't know 500 miles for a door split. That's kind of crazy to think about, but if it's worth it and we're doing like a run where we can play a few days and we'll do what we can.
Yeah. Now, like I've said this a gazillion times on my show, if you ever come to the Midwest area where I'm from, the Midwest local music scene is absolutely insane. And from other bands that I have talked to that have actually, they've come from Oregon or Indiana or Michigan and whatnot, they've come here and they're like, wow, the fans and the crowd are just absolutely insane. And they just like completely get behind the band no matter who's on stage.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And I don't know how it is down there by you, but I love my local music scene here. I really do. And I extend the offer to any band that comes on my show that's not from the area. If you guys are ever up in this area doing any kind of shows, because I am now hosting concerts, which I have the first one coming up next month, guys. So just remember, July 21st. Anyway, if you guys are up here and I got a spot open on a show, let me know, and I will definitely get you guys on, because I would love to see you guys live. I'm just saying, I love seeing any bands live.
Yeah, we'd love to come that way. I have a friend from high school. He moved up there. He met his wife with a band. I mean, this was years ago. They were playing a show up there, and they met and ended up hitting it off. Now he lives up there, so it's crazy that he went to Tennessee all the way to Wisconsin to live. I mean, it blows my mind. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, like why would you want to leave Tennessee? It gets cold here in the winter, like really, really cold. Go back, dude. Go back.
Like our local scene, it had hit a dry spell there for a while, but it's surely but slowly making a comeback. So, we promote like crazy and try to get everybody out and stuff. So that helps a lot. But, before that, it was really hard. But with the right promotion, hitting up the right people, you can have a really good show down here.
Oh, definitely. Now, I mean, this kind of like segues into where we're going. How do you feel like social media helps you guys out? Like, do you feel like it like hinders the local music scene, or do you guys feel it helps push you guys out there even more?
Well, I mean, there's so much out there. It kind of makes it hard, if you're trying to reach out to people who've never heard you, because, they're like, okay, well, why should I listen to this? Why should I listen to anything that I see? Because there's so much of it. Mm-hmm. But, in a way, that's good that anybody can put their stuff up. But in a way, it's bad because it's like, you got to pick and choose. Okay, I'll listen to this today. Well, I already, so how people are. They only, click if it looks interesting. They're not just going to randomly click something. I mean, that's because I'm the same way. I mean, I'm like, oh, this looks cool. But if I just see it, I'll bypass it because, we're all busy people. We don't have time to listen to every single thing out there. But I think it's good because, you can connect with anybody you really want to. If somebody's like, how do I get a CD? Well, you can just message them and tell them, and that you can take them to the store. So, it's good and it's bad. And I mean, it's just like technology. It's good and it's bad,
Yeah. Yeah. Cause I mean, I have had bands that said, oh, it's great because, it's a tool to get out there, but it's bad because it could be oversaturated.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And I've had, people say, and this is my rebuttal to what a lot of people say. They're like, oh yeah, you can sit there and someone can film the concert on their cell phone now, upload it on YouTube or on Facebook, and then somebody can see that band playing. But let me just say, guys, and I've said it a million times, there's nothing like seeing it in person, because so much can happen. You can interact with the band. You can actually meet the band afterwards. I mean, it's the feel, the smell, and the sound of just being there is so much better than just, watching a video.
And I mean, if you're doing it with a cell phone, it's not going to be very good quality. So
yeah, exactly.
Real deal. You need to get off the couch and go.
Don't be a couch potato. Get up and watch the band. Oh man.
I mean, because there's like so many karaoke bars and like dance clubs, and then people want to go to the movies. So it's like, how do you, somebody gets a free weekend? What are they going to pick to do? you gotta, you really gotta sell it, make it worth their while. I mean, some people don't. I mean, nobody wants to go to a concert where just like the band's just standing there playing. You gotta make it as entertaining as you can. We went to see Finger 11. And I love Finger 11, but they were like the most boring band I've ever seen play on stage. They just stood there.
Really?
And I was like, wow. It just kind of put a little sour taste in my mouth. I wanted to see them throw down or something. They just stood there. I was like, oh, okay. So, it's if every band can get up there and just, whether it's one person or 100, just get up there and give it everything you got, and that's going to make people want to come back.
Exactly. No one wants to see anything that's just bland. Like that just kind of upset me, because Paralyzer is like one of my all-time favorite songs. And
yeah, I love like that Awakened Dreaming song. Like I mean, I played that religiously there for a while, and I went and saw them, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna have fun tonight. I'm gonna rock out, and they just stood there, and I was like, wow. And I remember Sick Puppies were before them, and they just destroyed the daggum stage. It was. I mean, like nothing left. Maybe that's why. I don't know, but Finger 11 got up there, and it was kind of disappointing. And so, like, you think if Finger 11 comes back into town, I'm gonna go see him? Probably not.
Probably not.
Probably not. So yeah, if there's 5 people at my show, I'm gonna get them to come back. I'm gonna put on an entertaining show, and hopefully they tell their friends and bring more people back. You got to go see Roses Unread or whoever. They are like, so entertaining on stage, and music. You just want to fill that people's head so they keep coming back for more and telling everybody.
I've seen actually videos of you guys performing live, and I was like, wow, that's you guys are kind of energetic on stage, which is great, because if you don't have an energetic band, it's like what. But all the bands I know are really energetic, so I've seen. Oh man, I've seen a few bands that were just kind of. It was like I'd rather be home watching paint dry. But.
Yeah, I mean, because let's say one person goes to your show and you're just kind of you're standing around singing, not doing much. They're gonna be like, well, next time I'll just go to the movies or something, or go,
Right.
And that's how local music gets its bad name. You gotta perform. You gotta give them their money's worth.
Yeah.
Like if you don't have passion up there, you don't have anything. I'm sorry, but you don't. You gotta have passion.
Yeah, and your guys' social media game is actually pretty good. You got about 36,000 likes on Facebook. That's pretty good. You got 40,000 fans on Reverbnation. And
that must have up. I didn't even know that.
Yeah. And then I looked for, because Reverbnation gives more stats. You guys have like 38,000 video views, and another 18,000 song plays that are on Reverbnation. I
didn't even know that. I haven't checked it very. Well, it's been like 6 months, I think, and it wasn't near as high. So I don't know.
Okay. Well, now I just gave you like a lot more information.
Yes, you did. I was like, whoa, really?
Yeah. So, I mean, the next song that we're going to play is actually a video, because like you guys know, I found out how to do videos on here now, but you get a treat because I'm playing 3 videos today. Woo, which means Frankie's got a lot of work to do with editing. So, Because when I do the videos, the editing process is a lot harder. But it's okay because it's worth it for my listeners and my fans. So, anyway, the first one that we're going to play is Blind Leading the Blind. And that is, if I remember correctly, that's off the self-titled CD.
Yeah.
And let me just say, everyone that knows me, I am a huge bass fan. And there's a bass riff that's in that song where I'm just like, oh God, it was so good. It's like probably within like the first minute 40 seconds of the song, there's like a bass riff.
I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that bass riff, it's so good. Please tell. And is that guy still with, or is that a guy that had to change?
No, he's not. He was getting married, and you know how they do.
Yeah. Well, I'm giving you a thumbs up, guy, because that bass riff is amazing. Which I'm sure you're still in contact with him, so you can tell him I said that.
I will. Yeah.
Oh man. So, blind lead blind. Now the video is really good. But is there like, now many people will say this, and I say that all music as well as like a music video is art, and it's open for interpretation. But as we have an artist on the phone, or not phone, but yeah, you get what I'm saying. We have an artist here that can tell us the message they were trying to portray for you guys. So, what was the message that you guys were really trying to get out there with this song and the video?
Well, there wasn't really like a huge message. I mean, the song's basically about, two people who really can't tell their wrong from right, but with that, wherever they go, they're never going to leave each other's side. So that was the meaning behind it. But we had never really done like a complete like performance video.
Mm-hmm.
We were just like, let's just do something fun with this. It's got that fun melody, and let's just rock out, and just do something kind of simple with it, because everything else kind of had a storyline. So this was kind of like the change up, and we were like, well, the melody kind of carries itself. Let's just perform, and we actually recorded it or filmed it in my backyard of my house, and we hung all these lights up in the trees, and just kind of gave it a good aura, and that was it. I mean, it was just a simple, fun video.
Yeah. So, and the bass riff. Like, guys, listen to the bass riff, because that bass riff is like, oh, I love. If I could learn how to play bass, I would. But I can't play music because I'm not that talented. So I just listen to it and push it out there for other people. So, guys, check out the video, the first video that we're going to play. And if you like what you hear, it's on the self-titled CD, which you can get on iTunes, which most of their music is available on iTunes. I assume it's like on Spotify, Google Play, and all that stuff as well.
It is. All
right. So, guys, check out that first video. And like I said, it's on their self-titled CD. This is Blind Lead the Blind.
On the past or the future, do you
I hope you guys liked it. And like I said, if you like what you heard, go to iTunes, buy merch, man. That's how bands that are local, independent, and unsigned, they make it not by playing shows, because like Allison said, that and like I've told you, 9 times out of 10 when a band is playing and it's a $5 cover, but there's like 4 bands playing and they split the door cover. And who wants to spend more than $5 to see a local bands play? I would pay 10 or 15, but that's just me. But they make their money off the merch. So buy merch and buy their music, okay? Oh, goodness. I don't know how many times I got to say that to people. Buy merch.
It's completely true. I mean, that's how we make the majority of our money is merch. And I have my jewelry store. I do that as well. So, I mean, and a lot of our fans check it out. And, like a majority of people who bought our music have bought my jewelry. So it kind of goes hand in hand.
See? So go to a show if you live in the area and buy jewelry too. Because that's what they do, guys. That's how they do. They're trying to make it. So, and I'm sure you got merch that's on your website, right?
Yeah, we have a big cartel. If you go to Roses Unread official, our store is on there, and we've got shirts and wristbands and all the CDs. And my jewelry is on Etsy. It's called the Unread Collection, like UNREAD, like the band name. So,
So like I say all the time, guys, all the links are going to be right below here on YouTube. So pause the video right now. I'll give you time to pause it. And go to the store and buy some merch so you can have the merch while you listen to the rest of the show. See? There we go. Plugs. Yay. All right. So, man, now you guys have toured a lot, but what are some of like some of your more favorite venues that you guys actually had a chance to play at?
Well, there was this place in Jackson called the Emporium, and we used to do all of our, big CD release shows or just, big Jackson shows, whatever it may be. We used to do it there, but it got shut down. So we're trying to find a new home. There's 2 places in Jackson now, so we've booked both of them and just going to kind of fill them out. And there's this place called Safari in Corinth, Mississippi. It's always a good time there. But we play Memphis a lot. Rock House Live, that's a great venue. We actually have a show coming up with that. I mean, we've played like Kentucky and Arkansas and Alabama. There's this place called 11th Frame in Alabama, and I love that place. It recently got shut down, but they reopened. And the guys, he's trying to get us like a really good show to be on, like for our first time coming back in a while. So I'm really looking forward to that one.
Yeah, I'd love it. Like I said, I'm going to say it again. I'd love it if they came up this area because I would love to actually see them play live. I'm just saying it again. I'll sit there.
It happen.
Well, I'm going to make it happen. And, one of these days I'll make it happen. Oh, man.
Yeah.
There was a band I had from Atlanta. They're actually really, really big up here in Wisconsin. And they're from Atlanta. Bridge the Grace. Have you heard of them?
We've played with them before.
Oh, man. I got to interview Christian, and that was the interview where I was so nervous. Because I'm like, oh, my gosh, I'm talking to Bridge the Grace.
I remember when we played with them. It's been like a while back, and I don't even remember where it was, but I remember we played with them like one time.
Yeah. When I had Christian on here and we were talking, he was going through the phrase of saying cool beans and I was saying awesome sauce, and we decided that we were going to come up with a new catchphrase. So now we just say blazing, but you got to put some emphasis on it. You got to go blazing. So, yeah, if you ever meet him again, just say blazing. And then he'll be like, man, it's getting far. But it happens.
Yeah, definitely.
So you've had a chance to play with Bridge the Grace. Bridge. It's a bridge. And I like the story on how they came up with the band name. It's a very interesting story. But what are some of the other bands that you've got a chance to play with, locally, independently in the Tennessee, Mississippi area?
We played with Stitched Up Heart. and New Year's Day, Flame Shift, Freeman Hanley. Oh gosh.
Oh, wow, Framing Hanley.
Tantric. We played an acoustic show with Zach Myers from Shinedown. That was pretty cool. He's from Memphis. Gosh, there's Trap and Taproot, Righteous Vendetta, Icon for Hire. I might already name that. But yeah, I mean, that's off the top of my head. Oh gosh, the other band. Her name's Alexis. She sings for them. Oh, Straight Line Stitch.
Okay.
So that's yeah. I'm sure there's more, but
Yeah, I mean, this is how this is also how I network even more, so I get more bands that I haven't heard of. But Framing Hanley, they're pretty big. Well, they were. I don't know how big they are now.
We played with them like about around the time Until We Meet Again came out.
Yeah, because that's about the time that they got really big when they covered Lollipop by Little Wayne.
Well, actually, we played with them twice. We played with them in Memphis, and then we played with them in Mississippi. And when we played with them in Mississippi, that was like 4 years ago, and like that place was packed, I remember.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I love it when, the shows are packed.
Oh yeah, this one was, you couldn't, hardly stand. There was no room. There was people like backed up to our merch table.
Oh wow, that's great. See, I'm disabled and I can't stand that well. So when I go to shows here in my area here, usually my friends that are in bands make sure I have a chair really close to the stage so I can rock out. And I sit there with my cane just rocking out while I'm sitting in a chair. But it's okay because I have more energy than most people at a show. And I'm disabled. So what's your excuse? Oh, man.
I don't got one.
No, I like when I go to shows and I see people that are really energetic and the bands feed off your energy, guys. Like, if you're just sitting there looking like, a dead horse, they're probably still going to have energy while they're on stage because there's probably other people behind you. But
it's not as intense.
Yeah, if you're energetic, they're going to be twice as energetic as you are. So, I'm just saying, guys, bring the energy. So, another question that I typically I can talk today. That I typically ask bands on the show is, do you guys prefer playing like a larger stage where you guys can interact with each other more, or a smaller stage at a smaller venue where you can interact with the crowd and it's more intimate with the crowd?
I'd say definitely a smaller stage where the crowd's up in your face. But the thing is, like, to me, I have better interaction when my band members are closer to me than spread apart. So really, like a small stage or like, decent sized stage, but not like where we're so separated far apart from each other, but like where there's like give or take 2 feet between band members, that kind of thing. And then the crowd up in your face, because there's just so much, potential for so much energy in that setting.
Yeah, definitely. So, like I said, guys, you're getting 3 videos today. Yay! Let's clap. Yay! All right. So the next one was probably the song that I, after I listened to the Vultures EP and I found out there was more music. Stupid me, didn't do research until someone had told me. Anyway, but I really enjoyed Room 312. I really did. And the video, it really kind of, like, I felt energy in the video. Now, I'll like say my own perspective. It felt like the older lady in the video was like about to pass away. And when I saw you in the video, I'm like, oh, is she trying to be like the Grim Reaper? That was my take. Now, I could be completely wrong, but like I say, art is open to interpretation.
Well, yeah, she's like, she's the grandmother of the little girl. And the colored, when you're watching it, the colored, picture is more like when they were happy, younger, and healthier.
Mm-hmm.
So right now she's like a spirit trying to pass through, but like she's kind of in purgatory. And until the granddaughter tells her it's okay, you can leave, she's like kind of stuck in her purgatory because she doesn't know if she's going to be okay without her being there.
Yeah.
But I like the angel of death coming to tell her, it's time to go. She understands, say your goodbyes. But the weird thing about Room 312 is one of my best friends, her grandmother passed away in the nursing home, Room 312. And, yeah, she asked me, she said, would you write a song for me about my grandmother passing away? And I want you to call it Room 312. That's the room she died in. I said, yeah, I'll do that. So I wrote her the song. So all those lyrics, were pretty much, telling my friend that her grandmother was okay, and she wanted to tell her grandmother she was okay. So that's kind of how that video took place. But 6 months after her grandmother passed away in that nursing home, my grandmother passed away in that nursing home.
Oh, wow.
So every time I had to sing that song live, man, it hurt me so bad. Because my grandmother was like my biggest supporter. She'd come to like all kinds of shows. Like she'd be 70 years old in a bar. I mean, like she helped us pay for our very first CD. She dropped like $500 down. She said, "Here, go finish it." Like that's just how supportive she was of that band. And so like we felt like we owed owed it to her to have some kind of dedication to her. So we dedicated the CD to her, and just kind of, even though that song was for my friend, that was a dedication to her as well because of how much she believed in us, like more than we believed in ourselves.
Yeah, which now that you explained that, it explains the CD title.
Right, and like the little girl on the front, actually the little girl in the video, and there's a swing on the front of the cover of Until We Meet Again, and that represents like my creative writing spot because I've always like if I have a song idea or whatever it may be, I go to my swing. That's like just where I go. So the little girl represented me, in in front of the swing. Just like that was just my message, and like looking up at the sky. Our rose symbol is actually a constellation in front of the cover that the little girl is looking at, and the constellation is like a symbol of the grandmother telling her she's okay.
Awesome.
And there's just a lot of different weird things about that CD, like the little girl talking in front of the video. That's the little girl in the video, and the one on the cover. So, and it was actually our producer at the time, his daughter, and we got her to say the poem and do the acting in the video, and she was all for it. And she was like really shy, so that helped break her out of it a little bit.
Yeah. I like the part in the video where like you were trying to say like it's time to go. You sat there and clicking on your wrist like, hey, time's ticking, time to go.
Yeah, I had to play a part like that so that it wouldn't like make me so sad every time I watched it.
Mm-hmm.
So for me to play a part of like the actual angel of death, it's like kind of turn the perspective around. So I see it as it's like more of a whoa, that's a weird kind of thing than a sad thing.
Yeah. So all right, guys, here's the second video treat that you guys get, and this is off Until We Meet Again. Like I said, you can get it on iTunes and all that good stuff. So check it out. This is Room 312.
Forget
All right, that was Room 312. Like I said, guys, check it out. You can get all their stuff on iTunes. Well, except the one CD, like you said, but you can get their, if you're someone that likes having a physical copy, go to their website, buy the merch there. Or if you're, close in, to the area, in the Tennessee area, Mississippi area, you can go probably to their shows and get physical copies. I mean, and then you can probably even get it signed by all of them. I'm just saying. Which I have 31 autographed CDs from local bands. I'm expanding my collection. That's like one of my collection things now. Yeah. Otherwise, I just get everything on iTunes. It's just like, get it on iTunes.
And remind me, and I'll send you a signed copy of the new EP.
See? It pays to have an awesome show like I do. Yeah. Deal with it. Be jealous, guys. Be jealous.
Message me and remind me, and I'll send that joker.
All right. So now here's a question that one of my co-hosts, Juan, came up with, which I liked it, and I'm sticking with it. But when he's on, he asks it. So anyway, if you could go on tour with any band in the world, or any musician, whether they're alive or dead or broken up, who would you want to be on tour with?
Well, that'd be my favorite band in the whole wide universe, Seven Dust.
OMG. They are great.
Favorite band, and they're so underrated. It drives me crazy.
I still have. I went and saw them play at the Rave here in Milwaukee near me, and that was when their CD Home came out.
Yeah, that good stuff.
And I heard the song Denial, and I fell in love with that song.
That's my husband's favorite Seven Dust song. He loves that one. He loves it.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's other songs that they have written, guys, that are absolutely amazing. But when I heard that song for the first time, I was like, oh, this song's so good. So
I love everything they do. I've seen them almost 20 times.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm a little crazy when it comes to Seven Dust. Like I want to be the female LaJean Witherspoon, little white girl version.
Now the band that I've seen the most was it. Well, let's see. The band I've seen the most was probably Rush.
That's cool.
I've seen Rush 3 times. I've seen Creed 3 times, and I've seen Skillet twice.
Yeah, I've seen Skillet, I think, maybe 4 times.
Well,
something like that.
Well, John's originally from that area.
Yeah.
So, but he's up here in Wisconsin now. Yay! I actually go to church with him. Yay! So, here's another group of questions that we started earlier on, or not too long ago, but and I'm pretty sure I know the answer to this question by what you have just told me. But what is the first concert you've ever been to?
My first concert. Sorry, I'm having to give the dog some water.
It happens.
My first concert ever was 3 Days Grace, actually.
Oh, well, that's a good concert to have your first. Mine was AC/DC.
See, that's. I wish I could have been in that era.
Yeah.
Like I have really seen them, like I see Seven Dust.
Yeah.
Sorry, my dog. He got a little crazy yesterday, and he knocked a hole in our bay window, and glass went everywhere, and he cut his paw.
Aww.
And I had to take him to get stitches today, and his mouth's dry from when they gave him that shot to knock him out, and he's just like drinking nonstop. Oh. But he's walking around with a band. It's been a crazy morning.
What kind of dog is he?
Weimaraner.
See, I love animals. I love animals. I love them. I love cats. I love dogs. I was gonna get, because of my anxiety and depression. My doctor wanted me to have a companion animal, but unfortunately, I cannot have a cat or a dog where I'm living. So I was gonna get a guinea pig because it's the closest thing I can get to.
Like anything that like because I'm the same way. I have terrible anxiety, and like he goes a lot of places with me. Like, I mean, I probably would feel better if he was with me all the time, but because like I said, I dropped him off at the vet today, and I just felt so lost when I got back home because he wasn't there, and I kept wanting to like call his name, and I'm like, okay, I was like, you're gonna go get him in 2 hours, chill out, but like he does, he helps with my anxiety a lot. Like,
oh yeah, animals do that. So,
yeah, I said, don't be jumping through no more windows. I was like, I can't afford this. And I'm going to like fix the window now. I had to take him to the vet. That was like $400 vet bill.
Yeah, those vet bills get really expensive.
So yeah, it's been a morning.
and now you got the exciting task of being on a podcast. Yay! Go Unsigned, Unhinged. I'm growing so well as my podcast. I started this off with a dream in like January of this year, and I had been to some of my friends playing at local shows at bars in town, and been like, why is this place not packed? How can I help? And I said, dude, I'm gonna start a podcast, and I was mainly just gonna focus like in the area here. And then I had other bands seeing it, being like, hey, can we get on? And I'm like, yeah, sure. So now I'm like covering everywhere. And I even got a band from the UK. So we're going global now.
I don't know what it is, but people in UK like love us. I've sent I don't know how many CDs over to the UK. It's been crazy.
Yeah. Like now I know on I believe it's Bandcamp that when people download your music, you can see where the music is going to. Like I've hit a band on here where they said most of their music is being bought in Europe. Another band that said it's really getting heavy in Japan. And another band had been on here and said one of their songs that's on their, debut EP is getting airplay like heavily in Brazil. And I'm like, oh my goodness, that's just crazy.
It really is.
But that's the age of the internet. That's what the internet does for us now. And just think, back in the day, someone was like, oh yeah, you can have the internet on your phone, and people thought it was crazy. Now everybody has it.
Everybody has it. I mean, and like you said, I mean, with social media, that's how you make all your connections. So you gotta, if you hated it a little bit, you gotta love it even more.
Yeah. I didn't get a smartphone until about a year and a half ago. I was like, no, I don't need one. I don't need one. I don't need one. All I need is to be able to text and call people. That's all I need to do. And then when I got one finally, I'm like, dude, how did I never go out without one of these things? Like, I'm never really on my computer anymore unless I'm doing my podcast or doing something, related for school or what have you. Now I do 90% of my stuff on my phone.
Yep, same way. I mean, it's just how it's grown is unreal.
Yeah. So, the next video that we're going to actually play, which is Better Off, which this song is so powerful. The video is even more powerful. Like when I had Bridge to Grace on here and I told them they had a song called No Lies, and it helped me end a really, really horrible relationship that I was in. But I'm not going to get into the nitty gritty of all that. But this is a song that probably would have helped me out a lot too. Just saying, if I would have heard it back then. But that's neither here nor there. So obviously I spoiled the video. But everyone has done what this lady has done in the interview in an interview. When a breakup happens, you scribble out the person's face. Yeah, we've all done that. If you
Yeah.
haven't, there's something wrong with you.
Yeah, my friend, she was in a bad relationship, and she's actually, the girl in the video is actually my next door neighbor teacher at school. And she was like, I love Better Off. You ought to do a video for it. And I was like, that's your favorite one? She's like, yeah. She's like, if you ever need anybody to act in it, I'll do it. She's like, I've never had any acting experience, but I've had this kind of song experience. And I was like, okay. I mean, I was like, I'd rather have somebody who's actually dealt with it than fake it, you know?
Yeah. And like, she just like shoves that guy out. Like, get out of here. But
that was my guitar player at the time's brother. We just threw him in there. He never acted either. We're like, y'all are going to do this. And it worked.
It worked. It really worked. I mean, and the song is powerful, and I really, really enjoy it. And the video is just great. The bonfire, you know, it's bonfire season. So, at least in Wisconsin it is, so.
Oh, it's always bonfire season in Tennessee. We're like redneck kingdom, you know.
Yeah. You know, I actually had family that lived in Mississippi, but I think it was further south than where you would be in Vicksburg, Mississippi. Do you know it?
Yeah, I think I've been there like once or twice.
I think it's really like the furthest. I think it's south or really far north. I can't remember. It's been a very long time. Like a very long time. Anyway, with that all being said, we're getting into some deep conversations here. But it's okay. That's what we do. So, this is the video for Better Off, which is on the CD The Silver Lining. Or is it just Silver Lining?
The Silver Lining, yeah.
The Silver Lining. You know, that's a good movie, by the way. The Silver Lining Playbook. I love Bradley Cooper. I do. Anyway. So, all right, guys, check out the video for Better Off.
So this is really happening? You're really leaving?
You're better off this way.
You know, you're right. Just go! Get out of here!
You say, I'm better off this way. I'm fine. I'll say this one last time. Lying in these ashes, who will save me now? I reach for your hand when I've broken my vows.
That was the video for Better Off. Like I said, very powerful video. You know, especially for me. You know, I've had a lot of bad relationships. I've been cheated on more than I've had successful relationships. That's bad. So
Yeah, I've been there. Ooh. That's
yeah.
probably how a lot of my songs were inspired back in the day.
I know. Like Adele. Now, I know like Adele is kind of like, a lot of people don't, but she's talented. You can't deny that. The woman is very talented. And her first CD, I think her first CD was entitled 19. And then she wrote 21 because she was 21 when she wrote it. And it was all after a bad breakup. And the CD was good. I actually enjoyed the whole CD. And then her next CD, I was like, dude, you need to go through a breakup again. Because this is not as good.
That's what I wanted to tell Kelly Clarkson, too.
You know, and everyone has said Kelly Clarkson does not look as good as she used to. Dude, I think she looks even better. I'm just saying. I like them thick. I'm just saying. I like the girls when they're like that. Oh, man. I think.
But I'm glad Taylor Swift kept going, getting out of breakups.
Man, there was a song, and I believe it was a Taylor. No, maybe it was a Carrie Underwood song. I can't remember. But we did a karaoke contest, and they treated it like American Idol. And we had to do a cross-gender week where guys had to do a song sung by a woman, and women had to do songs done by guys. And I can't remember the song title, but it was a country song. It was like, I dug my key into the side of his pretty little souped-up four-wheel drive. Yeah, I did that song, and everyone was like, oh my God. But of course I changed he to she.
I think you should have left it the same.
Hey, I mean, it happens.
I think that would have sold it even better.
Hey,
oh Lord.
It's okay if you like the guys. I don't. It doesn't bother me. But me, I like women. I love the women. Okay, seriously. All right. So speaking of loving the women, you know, I got Allison on here for Roses Unread. Now, a lot of bands, and I'm seeing this a lot more now, that bands have a female front. And, you know, a lot of people have said, oh, it's a gimmick. And a lot of people are said, well, it's kind of like the trend of what's going on now. Do you feel it's more of a trend or more of a gimmick?
Well, I could kind of see both sides of it. You know, like I could see some people thinking that about some artists, but I don't know. Like, okay, put it. All right, I love Lacuna Coil, and I love In This Moment.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Lacuna Coil, I think they do it completely for just like the love of it, the passion of it. But within this moment, I think a little bit of it is gimmick.
Mm-hmm.
All the, you know, like the 20 outfits, and you know, like it's like kind of like let the music speak for itself. If it's good, it's gonna speak. You don't gotta change outfits 20 times.
Yeah, there is a lot, and I'm plugging some bands from the Wisconsin area. So guys, get ready for this. For you people in Tennessee or Mississippi that are probably listening to this, check these bands out. There's a bunch of them, not a bunch, but a handful that I'm going to list off, that are from this area, that are female fronted, that are absolutely amazing. You got Mixed Company, which has my good friend Brittany as the lead singer, and they're a rock, you know what I mean? And then my good friends Resistance from Racine, Mimi is just, she's so talented. And then the Almas are just, you know, Maria has like this very, very Amy Lee-esque in her voice, where it's like her voice you would think would not be something you would hear in rock, but it's like the way everything is molded together, it sounds amazing. So hey, if you want to check out more local music that's from up here, check out those guys, because I'm telling you, those bands are amazing, and I've seen them all a bunch of times. So, but that's me making shameless plugs for my friends. I like to do that. So, anyway,
What was that third one you named?
The Almas.
Okay, I'm liking their pages so I can go back.
Oh, guys, look at see. Okay, don't ever say that I don't push other bands. I really do. There's so many bands that I'm behind, and after this, I can just give you a whole bunch of them to really go and check out. But those three are female-fronted bands that are just. There was one that I had from Indiana that are like kind of like a death metal, deathcore type, and they're called Mantra, Mantra, and you hear her sing like a regular sing, and then you're hearing the scream, and you're like, "That's coming from a girl? Oh my gosh!" Like, wow. The growling and the screaming that you hear in a typical death metal band, but it's really impressive, and I was blown away by that. But oh man, so you guys been around, you've been doing this for a long time, but what are some of your inspirations in the music scene, or non-musical inspirations that have inspired you to become who you are?
Well, musically, of course, that's Seven Dust, but when it comes to like piano and synth writing, I would say that's more of me being a fan of Bring Me the Horizon, because I love their music, and I mean I have since the beginning, but this new stuff, I like how it's arranged a lot, and that's like a big inspiration to how I do a lot of my synth and piano stuff. But, Lejeune from Seven Dust, he's my favorite male vocalist. Christina Scavia from Lacuna Coil, she's my, I guess, female inspirational singer, excuse me. And, I don't know, I guess when it comes to, like, family inspired me, my two uncles, actually, they can play guitar and sing, and I think that's kind of where all of it started. Just my uncles getting together and singing and playing the Beatles, and I'd sing along with them. My uncle, he passed away in a car accident when I was 12, so I didn't get much time with, him, musically, but I remember him playing all the time, and that played a huge part, I think, in me, doing it, full time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, music speaks to the soul when words fail. I'm just telling you guys that. I seen that in a meme somewhere, so I stole it, but I'm just saying. Anyway, whew, man, this has been a lot of fun. I really, Allison is a trip. Plus, she's got that southern drawl, like I said, that's just kind of entrancing. At least to me it is. I don't know. I don't know what most people think, but that's just me. And a question that I've asked everybody, and this is one that when most bands ask for a question, a list of questions that I give, I always avoid giving them this one because I like to throw people off and put them on the spot and make them think. But as everybody knows that knows me, I am the biggest and hugest wrestling fan in the world. My bedroom, because I am such a huge fan, is decked out in just wrestling merch all over the place. I love wrestling. So if a wrestler had come to Roses Unread and said, I would like to use a song as an entrance song, what song would you give them?
Well, let me push back a little bit. Before I got in a band, I was the biggest wrestling fan ever. And then we would practice on Mondays and Thursdays, which Monday was Raw and Thursday was SmackDown, and then Sunday you had Sunday Night Heat. Well, this was, like I said, when I was like 17.
Yeah, that was a while ago.
So my grandfather, he would actually record the wrestling matches on VHS for me so I could go back and watch it. But he got dementia, so he couldn't do that anymore. And that was about the time that I'd really gotten into music. so I couldn't watch it anymore. So I kind of fell off the loop. But this would be the ultimate coolest thing ever if the Hardy Boys came out to Never Back Down or something.
Oh, wow. You know, the Hardy Boys made a comeback in WWE, right?
I know, and that's one reason why I stopped watching it, because like when they both left, Jeff was my favorite, but like when he left, I was just like, I'm not watching it anymore, and I pouted and I'm not gonna watch this. And then I love The Rock, and he quit wrestling, and it was like he didn't want to do his movies, which was cool, but The Rock, he was like my favorite, and
yeah,
they all left. So I was like, oh, got a reason. I just kind of fell off the, ladder of it. I mean, but I actually want to start recording it so I can watch the Hardy Boys. I've thought about that. Because now with TiVo, you can just do it instantly.
Oh, exactly. I love my TiVo. But for me, like when I was watching wrestling when I was really, really, really younger, I want to say like I was 8 years old when this happened. When you're 8, you don't understand the reference of being a heel or being a face. It's all acting, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I was 8 years old, so I didn't understand. And my favorite wrestler at the time was Tatanka. And Tatanka was kind of like an Indian, and he had the whole Indian gimmick thing. And he made a heel turn at Survivor Series, and I was like, I'm never watching wrestling again. And I literally stopped watching wrestling for a very long time because I was so upset that Tatanka turned heel. And then I got back in when the whole Stone Cold thing happened, and I was all about Stone Cold. Like Stone Cold was my guy.
I liked him and The Undertaker. And, oh crap, there was one more. I never liked Triple H. And there was one more person they were pretty big, like The Rock and Stone Cold and Undertaker.
Shawn Michaels?
Well, yeah, but there was somebody else, though. Shawn Michaels, not that you said him, but there was one more. I don't remember.
I'm trying to think to myself, because like the biggest of that time was Stone Cold, The Rock. Then you had D-Generation X, and then Shawn Michaels, Undertaker.
Cool. Mankind was around there, but there's like one more person I'm thinking of. But it'll come to me, and then I'll like randomly email you and be like, hey, and just name the wrestler, and you're like, oh yeah.
See, as for now, for me, it's all about Bailey. Oh, that's my wife. She's gonna marry me. Not really, not in real life, but I can dream about it. I am a huge Bailey fan for everything that she does for the fans, for everything that she does for wrestling. And then I'm all about Finn Balor and Dean Ambrose. Finn Balor has an amazing gimmick and he's from Europe. And when he does the pay-per-view, he has the gimmick of being the Demon King. Yeah. And he comes out in all body paint, like from his torso all the way up to his face and his back.
Gosh.
Oh man, if you ever get completely sucked in again,
I'll try to check it out, because like I said, if the Hardy Boys are back, that's like, I mean, that was my thing. Like, my room was covered in the Hardy Boys. Like, it was bad.
Like, see, like when it came to the Hardy Boys, I was all about the Dudleys, but I loved Christian. I always loved Christian, but
I like Edge, but like, but my favorite thing was those TLC matches.
Oh, those were intense.
That was my favorite thing to watch, and I mean, it was like the coolest thing. And like every time they'd announce they were doing one, I would get like so excited. And then all that went away, and I was like, "What?" Because that was like one of the coolest things.
Yeah, well, they went PG now, so.
Sorry, my dog. Oh, sorry.
They went PG now, so John Cena switched his move from being the FU to the attitude adjustment. It's like, please, no.
Mesa, seriously?
So, the last song that we're going to play for you guys, which is I'll Follow You, which is on Vultures, which will be coming out in August. I assume it's going to be on iTunes and Spotify and all that as well. But with this song, it's more of a mellow-esque, so to speak, in my language, compared to some of the other stuff that we have played. But is there like a deep-seated meaning behind this song?
That song was basically my talk to God, I guess, through, everything I've ever written. Like, I never really wrote a talk to God song, and that was like, me confessing that I sin and I'm not a perfect person, and that was my way of just expressing that to God and the world, I guess, Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's a very, like, it's one of those songs that just kind of gets you right in the feels, you know what I mean? So,
yeah.
It's a deep song, and man, like all of your music, I really enjoy it, and hopefully, I can get my hands on everything soon, so I can just sit there and be like, oh yeah, I got my own Roses Unread playlist on my MP3 player, and just sit there and jam out. So, but thank you so much, Allison, for giving me the time that you have given me. I really appreciate it. I know that you have a busy life and you have a dog that you probably gotta take care of after having everything that happened to him, sadly. So
yeah, he's right now. He's sitting in the mirror, like where he punched it out, and just trying to lay there and not hurt himself. But I'm just like, why are you back up there where it happened?
Yeah. So, real quick, for those of you guys that are in the area, or for those of you that are up for a road trip. You got 2 shows that are coming up, which is on July 8th at the Naked Turtle in Jackson, and then another one on the 29th in High Tone in Memphis. So if you guys like taking road trips, go ahead, travel on down there. Or for those of you that are in the area that are listening to this, now you know, but it's on their Facebook, and that's where I got the information. So you may already know. So I'm just telling you again. But like I said, thank you so much for giving me the time that you've given me today. I really appreciate it. Like I said, as always, guys, keep the trend moving, keep the trend alive. Hashtag support local music. And I will be back next time. And make sure you check out this last song, I'll Follow You.
I'm killing my purity.